everyone, I'm Prowl, and I've been running a survival guide series here for several years now, showing you how to do anything and everything in Minecraft so you can build up a world that you love and have a lot of fun in. Today, I wanted to zoom out a little bit and give you the ultimate guide on how to start, play through, and stay motivated in your Minecraft world from day 1 through day 1000 and beyond. I'm going to help you figure out what it is that you want to do so you're excited to start your world, lay out the best way for you to get started, and lay out this guide you can use to keep you feeling like you always have something that you want to do in your world. So I guess let's get started with the beginning. Before you even press the Create World button, or if you've already started your world, you'll want to do this ASAP. You'll want to do some sort of early planning, as it's incredibly important to keeping you motivated in your world. When you plan out your world, it's good to think of how long you're likely to stay in and play in the world, or how long you want to stay in and play in the world. A forever world isn't for everybody. It sounds like a cool idea, but not everybody stays motivated long enough to play in a forever world. So maybe during your planning process, you might know that I'm going to play in this world for 6 months, or I want to play in this world for 1 year. And then when you're going through and doing all of your planning, plan accordingly, think of what you can accomplish and the amount of time you want to play in that world. And then, hey, by the time you get to the end of it, if you're still loving the world, then you can plan another 1-year project inside of the same world to expand on what you already have, or to move somewhere else and do something else within that same world. Some of you might want to really plan a whole lot in detail, while others of you may want to do more of a bullet point list, as long as we have something to work towards. What you're planning here are things that you broadly want to do, things that inspire you, or things that you're interested in for building up your world. Are there any specific biomes you really like and think would be really fun to build in? Or maybe you really enjoy medieval style builds like castles or little villages or towns. Maybe you like futuristic builds, or maybe you like something that was in a TV show that you saw that was really cool. How much further you take this is up to you. You can go in with just your basic idea, or you can plan out what type of blocks you want to build with, what themes you want each building to be, or look up some examples of your idea on YouTube or Google to help you visualize things better. Regardless of if you just come up with your basic idea, or you fall down the planning rabbit hole, going in with some sort of plan and goal in mind is going to help you enjoy your world more from the very start. The early days in Minecraft for me are always the most fun and exciting. Upon starting your world, your first job is survival. Start out by punching a nearby tree, making a crafting table, and a wooden pickaxe. Then run to the nearest stone you can see, or dig down a few blocks of grass to break a few pieces of stone and make yourself a stone pickaxe, shovel, and sword. Now quickly, before your first night comes, which takes 10 minutes from the time that you've started the game, you have a short list of things that you're going to want to do. While you're traveling looking for your perfect base location, chop down a few more trees for some wood, kill some animals you see for food, and specifically look for sheep so you can make a bed to sleep the night away in. While traveling, look for anything else that could seem interesting or unique. You might want to grab some sugarcane, a pumpkin, or melons. You can even go as far as punching grass as you run around to pick up the seeds that fall from it. All of these things can and will be useful in the early game. If you see a tall mountain, a cave entrance, or a stony shore biome, look for some coal so you can make torches and have some furnace fuel. If you don't quickly find some coal though, no big deal. Go ahead and get 8 cobblestone for a furnace, turn a log into some planks, then some slabs, then use that as fuel in your furnace and cook up some of your food. If by now you haven't found a bed, keep moving quickly through your world looking for sheep, or even better, a village. If you happen to be extremely unlucky and it turns nighttime before you can make a bed, don't worry too much. You have 2 options here. One being to just bury yourself in a hole underground or the side of a hill and wait 10 minutes for daylight to come again. Be careful when you come out though, because there will be hostile mobs out there. Honestly, mobs move pretty slow. So option 2 is if you just keep sprinting in one direction and jumping, which makes you move a little bit faster, mobs will never catch up unless you trap yourself somewhere. Also, make sure you watch your hunger bars while doing this, because once you get down to 3 of those little hunger haunches left, you can no longer sprint. So you will want to keep yourself fed. Take a moment when there's no mobs directly around you to eat whatever food you have so you can keep running. The early game in Minecraft is all about getting yourself set up with the essentials you need to survive in your world without struggling. You're going to want to set up some sort of temporary base area, whether that be inside your main base area, at a village you found, or somewhere else. A starter base is going to need a few things to help make your early days in Minecraft easier. You'll want some sort of small structure. It doesn't even need to look great, but it's to protect you from hostile mobs if you forget to sleep at night, or some wander in, or you just need somewhere safe to run temporarily because you looked at an Enderman or something else happens. You're going to want to have a bed, crafting table, a furnace or two, and several double chests to hold all of your things you're going to be collecting. And a word of advice, keep them organized from the start in some sort of categories. Now, while you're setting up your base area, you're going to want to start growing a reliable food source. If you're lucky, you've found a potato to grow into a large garden patch, either from a village or from killing a zombie. But if not, you can start planting a bunch of seeds to grow wheat. Instead of crafting the wheat into bread though, lure in a couple of cows, put them in a pen, and start feeding them. This will get you leather, which you'll need later, and beef to start cooking for food. Also, when it comes to cooking food, a pro tip for you is to craft a campfire. You can cook 4 pieces of food on it at a time, and it doesn't use up any fuel like the furnace does. I also highly recommend that you start setting up a fairly large area for farming sugarcane, especially if your starter base is anywhere close to where your main base is going to eventually be, because you're going to be needing a lot of it soon. Now, while doing the previously mentioned starter base things, you're also going to want to find a nearby cave or a tall mountain, if there are any, because one of the most valuable resources to you right now is iron and coal. Mountains are the best for this as they are safer and you can find more of it faster because it's exposed up there on the tops of the mountains. But going down into a cave has its benefits as well, as you will likely find other ores while you explore them. I recommend getting several stacks of coal and at least 2 or 3 stacks of iron to take care of getting you iron armor, tools, and a weapon, with plenty of iron left over to craft additional tools as the ones you have wear down. And to craft a few hoppers and such, because you may want to set up some other early game things like an automatic furnace or automatic composter or something like that. The mid game is all about speed. You are now living and thriving in your new world, but you're still doing everything really slowly and manually, which takes up a lot of your time that you could be spending building up your world. Also, depending on the order in which you like to do things, you may decide now is a great time to move to your permanent base location and even do a smaller build to get things started, especially if you can make yourself some sort of home location to work out of. I do want to note, this is the place where most people get stuck and end up quitting, because they're at that point where they have a decent amount of things and they feel like they can start and want to start building and doing a lot, but everything is still a very manual process, which means it all takes a really long time. So this mid-game portion is going to really help you get through that, which leads us to our very first step of speeding things up, which is to get diamonds. Create yourself a mine shaft straight down to wide -54 and carry enough ladders with you to be able to get back up. To do this safely, I recommend you dig down 2 blocks at a time by standing in the middle of the 2 blocks and then digging down each side as far down as it'll go. This will make sure that you never drop yourself down into a hole where you may accidentally die. Once you get down to the bottom, now you're going to want to start branch mining for diamonds. I have a great video on how to do this extremely fast and many other things from this video in my Bedrock Guide playlist, so be sure that you check it out anytime that you run across something that you're not sure how to do or how to do the best. Now, if you want to get the most diamonds possible, you're going to want to actually stop after you get your first 3 diamonds. Make yourself a diamond pickaxe and head to the nearest village with 4 lecterns on you. So you'll want to craft 4 lecterns. Once there, you're going to want to trap 4 villagers, make them librarians. Again, I have tips on doing this on my Bedrock Guide series if you want to know more. And you want to re-roll them until you get Unbreaking 3, Fortune 3, Mending, and Efficiency 5. This is going to take a little bit of time, but once you have a maxed out enchanted pickaxe, things are going to start happening for you extremely quickly. Now you can spend an hour or 2 down on your branch mine with your Fortune 3 pickaxe, because Fortune 3 will actually get you way more drops from the ores that you're mining up. And then you're going to get more than enough diamonds to make yourself full diamond armor, tools, a sword, and then have a lot of diamonds left over. And if you're looking for other stuff too, like gold, iron, lapis, redstone, or if you do a little bit of caving, some copper, if you want to use that, coal, and some other things as well, you're going to get a lot more of those things now that you have your Fortune 3 pickaxe, and it's going to take less time for you to get the resources that you want and need. And also, speaking of that Fortune 3 pickaxe, did you know that you can actually use that on carrots and potatoes to get way more than if you were to just punch it with your hand? It does not work on wheat and beetroot. You get more seeds, but you don't get get more of the actual crop. Now, you're also going to need a way to craft a lot of beds. So what you did with the cows earlier, you're probably going to want to also do that with sheep as well. Go ahead and get a big pen of them set up and start shearing for a couple stacks of wool. At this point, I also highly suggest that you have a nice large crop field going and even a larger sugarcane field going. And if you haven't already found some melons and pumpkins, I suggest finding some because you're probably going to want them too. You're about to make the biggest progression jump in your world so far, an iron farm trading hall, which takes us to the last step of the mid game. Now, I have a number of tutorials on iron farm trading halls, and I've made one in the guide series as well, so follow along with one of those. But you're going to want to figure out where you want to put your iron farm trading hall and get that set up, because this is your one-way ticket to the end game. Setting up the iron farm trading hall, depending on how many villagers you decide to use, will give you access to pretty much everything you're going to need going forward for the end game. You can set up librarians to get you every enchantment in the game that you're going to need. Farmers to get golden carrots from as your food source and to trade those crops that you've been farming to get emeralds and XP. You can trade the iron with the smithing professions to get emeralds and XP. And there's a lot of other professions to get many things that you're going to want and need in the game. And it's a great way to get easy, simple, early game XP for something that you're already building and doing anyways. It's going to take a little bit of time. Don't worry, it's time well spent. Once you've done all this, you've got all your villagers properly set up, you've got your gear fully enchanted, you will no longer have to worry about mobs killing you, because once you're at this point, mobs will have a lot harder time killing you, so you don't have to worry about dying frequently, and you'll be able to do everything, break blocks, collect things a lot faster than you have up until this point. You have now entered the end game. That time where the whole world is opened up for you to do anything that you want. Whenever you're ready to do so, you can go to the Nether to get your netherite template so you can upgrade all of your gear to netherite. Don't forget to make copies of your netherite template before you use it though, so that way you don't lose the template and have to go find another. You can go to the end to fight and kill the Ender Dragon and raid end cities to get shulker boxes to speed up resource collection and building projects, and the Elytra to speed up travel in your world. Don't forget to fight and kill the Wither, giving you the ability to make a beacon and instantly mine blocks. This will be very helpful for gathering supplies for the things that you are going to be building. If you haven't already, now is definitely the time where you are going to want to think about further plans for your base. What sort of blocks are you going to be building out of? What sorts of builds are you going to do? How large are those builds going to be? How large is your entire base area going to be? Etc. Because what you do now in the end game is going to be customized to what you have planned for your base. Now, I know not everybody's like me and likes to build automatic farms for everything, but it's one of my favorite things to do in the game because of what I get out of the farm when it's done. And this is one of the biggest things I think help keep you motivated to play and build up in your world, which is using Minecraft's ability to automatically get supplies for you as a means to help you build your base. Rather than spending the time getting the supplies manually yourself, you can have something do that for you so you can spend more time base building. Unless you're the type that enjoys collecting supplies, in which case, feel free to do that too. So, the blocks you plan on using to build, how do you get those blocks? Many of them can probably be automatically farmed in some way. So start looking at what farms you can make to automatically get the things that you need to build up your base. Maybe you want to build a cool storage room. Well, to do that, you're going to need chests, and chests take a lot of wood. You can build an automatic bamboo farm to get you an infinite amount of wood to use for crafting your chests. If you find yourself traveling a lot, you may want to build a creeper farm and a sugarcane farm to make yourself rockets more easily. If you find you're trading a lot of crops to get different things from villager trading, you can make an automatic crop farm. Or you can make a general mob farm to get bone meal from to use that to grow crops faster. I think you get the point here. Figure out if you can automatically farm the things that you need. And if you can, then you've given yourself a fun project to do in building the farm. And if you're like me, you may even find that you need a farm to make a farm. That could be fun too. Now, this is where balance is important. If you like building farms and you're going to be doing that as part of progressing in your world, take a break between doing that and actually make some progress on your base. Let's not forget about that. Or vice versa. If you got started building your base early, don't burn out on it because everything's taking so long. Take a break from building your base and build a farm that can help you build your base faster. Whether it's a simple one or a complex one, it doesn't matter. Just build something that'll help make your life a little bit easier and save you a little bit of time. I find that this balance is something that's going to help you enjoy playing in your world for a longer period of time, because I know how easy it can be to get burnt out working on a big project in your world. So when you start breaking things into a lot smaller projects and you switch around different things that you're doing, this is going to help keep you entertained and keep you moving forward in your world. Sometimes that may be building a farm. Sometimes that may be building a part of your base. Sometimes it might be going on an adventure and checking out a trial chamber or raiding an ancient city or the many other things that exist in the game. Be sure to introduce some variety in what it is that you're doing to help keep everything that you're doing fresh. And if during the process of building up your base, you're having a little bit of trouble thinking of things to put in your base to fill space, well, if you're building automatic farms, maybe put a cool build around it and make it part of your base. Or that cool trial chamber or ancient city that you went to and raided, maybe make a build inspired by that. Or maybe make a build inspired by the different professions that exist for villager trading. There's a lot of different ideas inside of the game of Minecraft that you can use to do this, or outside of Minecraft as well, like looking up ideas that you want to do and seeing what previous Minecraft content creators have done to give you a little bit of inspiration, or looking up concept art online, or many other things that can inspire you within what it is that you're trying to build. Beyond the end game, what you do is only limited by how much you are enjoying your world. If you've thought and planned things out like we talked about in the beginning, odds are you're getting a lot of enjoyment out of your world and have some pretty cool things already built. The next steps are all up to you, and I do recommend you keep things in steps. Keep a little bullet point checklist going of things to do that are in these smaller bite size, I can accomplish this type tasks. Because if you keep your projects as this one huge task, you're going to feel like it's never getting finished. And once you start feeling like that, your odds of not finishing it are going to go up. As opposed to if you break something like a castle up into smaller bullet point tasks to complete, you can do one that's say, complete the front gate, complete the back right keep, complete the training yard, like whatever it is. When you break it up into smaller bullet points, you always feel like you're accomplishing things. This is something that's totally a mental roadblock that people have, and this is a good way to get over it. Now, beyond that, the next steps are all up to you. You can keep expanding your base. You can finish your base and decide to start fresh with a new base somewhere else. Or also, it's okay to eventually call a world complete and come up with a new and much different idea to start the whole process all over again. Hopefully this ultimate guide helps lay out for you what I think is a great way to go through Minecraft. And if you get stuck anywhere along the way, just look through my playlist of tutorials and the Bedrock Guide series for more detailed help on different world building topics. If you enjoyed this video, you can show me by clicking the like button and subscribing to the channel. Have fun in your Minecraft world, and I'll see you next time.